You can throw that honey baked thing away. I'm gonna show you how to kick it up a notch with this pulled ham. It's gonna be a perfect little twist on your holiday table. Check it out. First thing we're gonna do is make a little seasoning rub to coat this thing, give it a nice bark. I got that Boudreaux's Fire Smoke. We're gonna add about 1 cup. Next, we're gonna go in with about a half a cup of that Boudreaux's Low and Slow. It's gonna be the perfect complement to this low, slow roasted meat. Next, I got about 2 tablespoons of ground mustard. Finally, about 1 cup of light brown sugar. Let's go ahead and get this all mixed up. Whew. I went and found the biggest ham I could find because we got plenty of people to feed. You don't have to get one this big. The only thing I'm gonna say is don't get the spiral cut. You want 1 whole ham for this method. So to start off getting it ready, I'm gonna go ahead and score the skin. I wanna score it all the way around. That's gonna help a lot more of that seasoning and stick to the ham. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put just a light coating of mustard, give that seasoning something to stick to. So now we can take that seasoning we made, give a good coating all the way around this thing. Now as this thing cooks, those cross hatches will start to open up. We'll be able to baste all inside of that and then get some more of that seasoning in it. I got that Pitch and Spitz Maverick fired up. It's at about 300 degrees. I got some competition pellets in it. I'll let this thing go for a couple hours. Let's go ahead and put it on. What I love about that Pitch and Spitz Maverick, I can set it on here and not worry about the temperature while I head inside to make all the rest of the side dishes. So it's right at about 2.5 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and start basting it with our glaze. Now you could get as creative as you want with this. Plenty combinations go well. Today I'm gonna be making a root beer and Chipotle, but you could do literally anything. So I got 1 cup of brown sugar. I'm gonna add in a half a stick of melted butter. Add in 1 teaspoon of Chipotle puree. And about a half a bottle of root beer. Now we're just gonna brush this all over that ham, sprinkle it with a little bit more of that seasoning. So now that it's basted, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna crank it up to 400 degrees. All right, so that glaze has been on for about 30 minutes. Total, it's been about 3 hours on the smoker. Let's go ahead and pull it off and put it in a pan. Now what's gonna make this ham pull, we're gonna braise it down. So we're gonna put it in a pan with some liquid. We're gonna let all of those connective tissues just kind of break down, just like we would a Boston butt. I went ahead, pulled that ham off, put it in my aluminum pan. In order to braise it, you just want to add in some flavorful liquids. I made some ham stock just with a little ham base and water. Now I'm going to take the rest of that glaze we had and just drizzle it all over the top. Coat it with just a little more of that seasoning. Now we're going to go ahead and cover this nice and tight. I'm going to take this and throw it back on the smoker till that meat is nice and broken down. Alright, so that went covered about 3.5, almost 4 hours. Let's check it out. So you can see that meat falling apart tender. It's going to pull up nice. Alright, you go ahead and let it cool down. And you just shred it up, just like you would a Boston butt. You'll have that nice pulled meat and some of that bark. A little bit of spiciness, that sweetness from the coal and the brown sugar. And just finish pulling it, serve it on up.